realtor can make the process a lot easier for you than internet searches and going to open houses. So, spoiler alert. All right, so open houses. Open houses and internet both. If you're early in your search, you're not really sure what you're looking for yet, you don't have a deadline by which you need to find a property, both of those are great alternatives to help you get started and kind of get a feel for this whole looking for a home process. Open houses, you should know, are only a few houses that are on the market are open on any given Sunday afternoon. And they tend to be the ones that have most recently come on the market. You're not by any means getting an even sample. It just has to do with which realtors happen to feel like doing an open house and properties that are relatively new on the market, usually. However, you can it's a good way to narrow down things that are important to you. You may see certain things in a house that haven't occurred to you before that you decide you just absolutely have to have. You might see something awful in a house and say, we've got to absolutely make sure we avoid that when we're looking. The other thing that open houses are helpful for, I find, especially for first-time home buyers, is to actually get comfortable boldly strolling around someone else's home, especially if people are still living there and their furniture and their decorations and their family photos and their knickknacks are there. When you're a first-time home buyer, sometimes you feel a little intimidated about just boldly strolling around someone else's house. And open houses are a good way to get over that. Internet searches, same thing. Great way without a lot of expenditure of time or physical effort to get a feel for what's on the market. What do houses look like in certain parts of the geographic area that you're looking at? Getting a feel for instance, what's the inside of a Cape look like versus the inside of a colonial? What does a raised ranch look like compared to another ranch? You may not be familiar with housing styles the way realtors are, who are looking at them all the time, or that you may be after you've looked for a while. So you have an opportunity to do that online that saves you some effort. What you might also do is if you see something online that looks interesting to you, take a drive by and see what it looks like, see what the area looks like, see what the street looks like, what the lot looks like, and see if that's something that you might be interested in. However, that being said, you will, when you start looking at houses seriously with a realtor, discover that based on what you've seen online, you will have unexpected reactions to some of the things that you see in person. Either that it's much nicer than you expected from what you saw online, or that the listing agent managed to skip pictures of certain parts of the house that really make you not want it after you've been there. You can't completely rely, in spite of all the photographs and the virtual tours, that seeing something online is going to replace seeing it in person. I have so far only once had a buyer who picked out the property she wanted to see, a condo she wanted to see online. We went and looked at it. It was exactly what you want, and she bought it on the spot. That's only happened to me once, and I don't expect it to happen for at least another 10 years. It's a great way to get started, but when you're ready to get looking seriously, engage the services of a qualified, experienced realtor, and let that realtor do a more detailed search through the MLS than you can possibly do on the public websites, narrow things down for you, create efficient tours where you can spend half a day or a day looking at many properties and find the property that you want fairly quickly, hopefully that way. All right, I hope that's been a helpful answer to how best to find the properties that you want. And I'm happy to talk with you more about that, talk about the buying process, how to get started. Just give me an email at realtormargaret@bhhsne.com. I look forward to communicating with you.